Welcome back everyone to the Railroad Challenge, and I am just outside of the hub looking at the right of way with the rail going through it. I have the rails going all the way down to the first stop, as well as the roof, the posts, and most of the fences. I still have a question about what to do with this over here, because I suspect there are a few cases where a mob might be able to. Well, I can't slip in like this, but maybe a baby zombie could if one fell down on the fence or something like that. I need to prevent that. So I still have to take down all of this and get that fenced in. But otherwise, I'm making pretty good progress. Now that I've pushed back the wall so it's no longer against the fence, that's all better, and I think the sandstone here could make a decent retaining wall. So therefore, wherever I have sand, I should replace that with sandstone, though I would want some variation in this, and I most likely will just have something nice and simple. I will thus get some cut sandstone. Let's grab that. I figure if we could put some cut sandstone here, one, two, oh no, not that close. But right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. That'll have to be a fairly high wall then. 7, 8, and then we'll use sandstone for the rest of it, and that could act as a retaining wall to keep back the sand, because apparently sand tends to build up in this area. Let's grab some sandstone in the place of there. Oops. There you go. And there you go. And I figure we could do it this way. And I need to come up with a little bit better pattern on there. There you go. We now have our retaining wall, and we're no longer up against our fencing. I think that's a lot better now. We can thus head into the next section, which will be to see, are there any more places where I need a retaining wall, and if so, I could do something similar to what I did right there. I added a smaller wall right here. It's half the size of the previous one, and another set of gates, because I was having a lot of trouble whenever I needed to go through when I was on this side of the river. The idea here is every once in a while to have gates so I can get in and out of here without too much trouble. And I'll probably have one more down here near where we get off. Here's the, I'm not going to say end of the line, but here is the first stop. Now the rules say to put whistle stops at each of the points that are intermediary, but this area right here is probably going to be a major stop instead, because we have this village here. It's probably in the contract to be in constant use and all that stuff, and there'll be a lot of going back and forth. I thus want to have the carts stop every time when coming through here. This isn't going to be one where the cart will only stop part of the time. Now what I need is to create the stop itself, because I haven't come up with a good design for a nice protected area where we can go. Do I base it on the main depot I have on there, or do I do something else? We have all of this oak here. This oak is now available as our building material instead of the acacia that we were using at the beginning. Thus, while we're using acacia all the way down here, I'm figuring that we will be using oak for our fence posts going down to the next section due to the oak that grows around here. And the reason I planted oak around here, of course, is because that's what was in the chests from the old village that we have here. The first step for building our station will be to place the actual stop point, and what I'll do here is make this, of course, the line where we are going to stop, and I will go out 4 on each side. We don't need that there. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then 1 2 3 4. So we'll go out by 4. I'll just drop that there. There you go. And I'm going to take the track, bring it out like this. See if I get the best way of doing this, because I want the track so that it will next come out this way. This is where we'll probably be starting our bridge. So let's get this out a little bit right here. Out like that, and we'll be doing the same thing on this side and on this side. What I want to happen is that we will come in here, stop right here, but when you press to continue, it will send you out this way, so that it'll come in this way, send out this way, and of course if you're on the other side, it'll come in this way and send out that way. So I want to make sure that I get this right to remember how to get this to stop. And the best way of doing that is if I put this down here, it connects to there. What I need to do is try to remember the best way of doing that. I'm always getting these things backwards, trying to play and figure out, alright, do I have to do this one first, or what? I thought of a better idea. Why won't I just put a button right there? Can I put a button there? Well, that's the first thing to check then. Let's get an acacia button. Can you place a button there? No, you can't. How about one right there? Now let's replace this with a powered rail. Yes, that will turn it on. We'll place the minecart here. Go forward. Oh, what if I put the button on top? Because I'm in a perfect position to hit a button that's on top. Can you? Yeah. A button on top does nothing. Why does a button on top do nothing? Oh! that's why I wanted to do a different way before. Of course, you had to have one side stopped. Yeah. So much for that idea. It appears that west to north is the direction that minecarts don't like going, so convincing them to do so is always tricky. Therefore, I'm not too sure I can do what I was trying to do there. Now, on this side, no problem. It goes here, right into there, press it, and go on. So I had no trouble in that direction. But in this direction, if it's possible, I don't know how to do it. Now, of course, there are other things I might be able to do, but for now, I'll just have the minecart come here, come to a stop there. You pick up the minecart, drop it there, and then hit the button and go on your way. Not nearly as convenient as this. I'll probably need another system in the long term. Yeah, actually, I don't like this. It just doesn't parallel that. Let me try something parallel to that, but still follows the rules that I've got here. What I'll do is just simply put rails like this, have it stop here. You have to manually walk over from one to the other. At least they're side by side now, so it's a little bit better than what we had before. You notice that there is no button here. That way this is never powered. In fact, what if I drop an activator rail there instead? Let's see if I remember this properly. Let's take an activator rail. I'll drop a redstone torch on top of that. That doesn't power that. Well, that's not what I intended then. How about if I take a switch? That might be another idea I could try. Let's take this plus one of these. Take a lever. Yeah, we'll just put one of those there. Plop this here. And it kicks us out. That thing rocks a bit. And I have to remember not to use the good pickaxe for that, so I won't knock the rail out when I knock that also. Then I could switch over to drop the minecart here. The other possibility, of course, is dropping a cactus there. But dropping a cactus there is always tricky. Sort of put you into a prickly situation. I decided to instead forget about the block, drop the lever down there to activate the activator rail. I leave this so that we just knock the item off of there. Actually, maybe I can instead do something on the lines of what I was thinking about. No, not quite that. What happens if I put a rail right here? I'll be out of it. And I could take the cactus. Let's see what happens if I... Now, I don't think I could put a cactus there. No, I can't. Oh, I don't need to put a cactus there. What I can do instead is to put a piece of sand there. Put the sand there, put the cactus there. Let's go into here. Good. The activated rail kicks me out, and the cactus turns the minecart into an entity, so I could just put it over here and then continue on my way. Nice that I was in a desert so that I could actually do that. For once, being in the desert is convenient. Now I feel silly. I figured out what I really wanted to do. That's right, I went back compared to what I did at the hub, and this is what I wanted to do. I go in on the side where you're coming from. That dumps us out straight, and the other direction, the outgoing direction, then has to curve on it. And that should work. No fiddling with the cactus, no levers, no activator rails, none of that stuff, though I will need a powered rail right here in order to do this. None of all that stuff, just a powered rail. And everything should be right. This doesn't look right. Yeah, I put an activator rail there by accident, I guess. Let's now see what we've got. And this should do exactly what we want. Yes, that's what we wanted. Though, of course, as I said earlier, a bridge will help a great deal on that matter. Despite a bit of derping, though, I now have the interchange portion of my station, and I think it works like I want it to now. Yay! With the interchange now complete, we can now build the main part of the station. And once that's done, we could start building our bridge, probably taking down those trees in the process. But that's what we'll have to do in the next episode of the Railroad Challenge.